Okay, well this is a bit of a debrief video from when I took Joanne, my wife, for a shoot today. I've already got some inquiries about the video that I just posted about an hour and a half ago. So I'm going to answer those questions. Firstly, you would have seen that I got ticked off for having zombie targets. I was shooting at some zombie targets I brought back from the United States. Now this type of target is also forbidden. I'm allowed to shoot something like this. Humanoid targets, the clubs won't allow it. I thought I'd get around that by bringing a zombie target back and having a go at that, but that's forbidden as well. Anything that's resembling a human being, you're not allowed to shoot on that type of paper. Now it's not a law, the law doesn't forbid it, but the gun clubs, irrespective of whether they're rifle or pistol, have a kind of an etiquette. Because of the influence of the anti-gun lobby and the concerns that they have that people might be training for using firearms in self-defense or training for nefarious purposes, they've imposed upon themselves some restrictions as to what sort of targets can be fired upon. And anything resembling a human being is out of bounds. Now it is one of those stupid, bloody, crazy, bureaucratic nightmare rules. I understand the reasoning for it, accept it, but at the same time, those kind of rules, along with my philosophy of shouting fuck 'em all at least once a day, I regard that sort of thing as being guidance for wise men. It's not the target that I'd take down if there were other people on the range at the public or in a club shoot, but if I'm down there by myself or with one of the other club guys, then I'm probably going to do it again. He did mention it to me. He's another range officer, a senior range officer. He had no problem with it, but it was simply a case of, were you aware that this is kind of frowned upon? So yes, I am, but I'm going to do it anyway, because the alternative for me is to go and get something like a picture of C-3PO. We've got a printer in one of the extended family. Get a picture of C-3PO from Star Wars and blow him up and shoot at him, because he's not human, he's a robot. Nobody could object to that, for God's sakes. You're allowed to shoot at targets of animals because of the Hunting Association. That's okay for pest control as far as the greenies and the anti-gun people are concerned. But if I'm restricted to that, then I will get some animal pictures and blow them up. Things like a panda or some other endangered species. It's not a human target, so I'll shoot at those instead. Anyway, that aside, we'll talk about Joanne's shooting. She's an untrained shooter. She would have fired a handgun, I guess, probably 4 or 5 occasions when she's come down to the range with me. She hasn't had any formal instruction. You would have seen that she was struggling, as do quite a few females, struggling with getting a good grip on a semi-automatic pistol. You could see it bouncing around in her hand. The problem with that is that if you haven't got a good solid grip, as soon as you release your first shot and the pistol moves, A, it's inimical to accurate shooting, and B, it really slows you down. You can see them having to constantly readjust their grip, and because they know they're kind of falling behind in the shoot, they then have a tendency to immediately snatch the trigger. And you'll see generally that happening, and their groups start to be pushed over to the right as they start snatching that trigger. So getting a firearm that's got the right dimensions, the right weight dimensions, and a comfortable grip for her is going to be a bit of a challenge. She prefers revolvers anyway, and I'm pretty relaxed about that, because for somebody that's not somebody that shoots regularly, there's a lot less to think about with a revolver. There's a lot less to go wrong with it. In stress situations, there's less stoppages, there's less likelihood that there's going to be problems. So from that point of view, I'm quite comfortable with it. I would like her to be able to shoot something of the dimensions of this Walther. We're allowed to have 380s, we're allowed to have 32s, but the law is that if the pistol, overall dimensions of the pistol, fall beneath certain stipulation, it can't be fired. So I've got this pistol, but it's on my collector's ticket, not my B ticket, which is the firearms I'm allowed to shoot. The reasoning behind it is the police want to suppress the demand for handguns that lend themselves to concealed carry, which is completely illegal in this country. Open carry, concealed carry doesn't matter. You are not allowed to carry firearms around, on your person. You will go to jail if you're caught doing it. But the logic is, the more of these things, the more perhaps temptation there is for somebody to slide it into their pocket when they go out of an evening. I think it's a load of bollocks. Myself, if somebody's carrying illegally, then they get arrested and they go to jail. It shouldn't eliminate an entire category of firearm, but there it is. And this restriction applies also to revolvers. The sort of revolvers that I have in mind for Joe, which would be maybe a 38 Super, but in a snub-nosed format or reduced overall length and slightly lighter. I can buy them for her, but we can't shoot them legally. We can't take them down to the range and shoot them, so it's entirely academic. It's very, very sad indeed. I was thinking of some of the Czech CZ semi-automatic pistols I thought might be suitable for Joe, but again I think they fall just short of the overall length requirements. The other problem we have here is that our gun shops do not, to my knowledge, there's no gun shop that has a pistol range co-located with it. You can't go and ask to fire a variety of handguns and select the one that's most suitable for you. You're buying really blind unless you have a friend who's prepared to come down to the pistol club and bring whatever it is that he's got that you want to shoot and then shoot with you. So that's a pain in the ass. The solution, of course, is just go to the States. Any of the gun shops there, they'll allow you to go and take a variety through, and you can have a yippee with them. Find out which one is instinctively the most suitable for you. And then, as I say, I'd like Joanne to attend one of the formal US shooting schools, get that proper instruction over a series of days and really get those skill sets nutted in. Just on the whole training of newbies, there's a tendency I've seen with a lot of people to try and teach too much at once. There's no point. People are capable of absorbing one or two things, and when they're a little bit nervous, as they are if they're shooting for the first time, most of that stuff goes in one ear and out the other anyway. So the object should be you teach them one thing and try and hammer it home per session, and then you start building layers on top. So we'll do that. We'll go back and we'll get her grip sorted out, and then we'll start talking about trigger operation, and then we'll start dealing with the marksmanship principles. But I'm just delighted that she's enjoying it, wants to participate, and there's going to be some future for her as a shooter, which is great. So that's that. Now there's a completely gratuitous clip of my Labrador and I playing, because Joe went up the road to buy groceries, so Mum was gone, and we had a bit of a run, a bit of a game through the house. So for those of you who like dogs, stick around, you'll see Zach doing his thing. Talk to you soon. Let's go, get him, get him. Get him, Zach. Chew it up. Gonna get you. Hey. Come here. I'm going this way. Now we wait. Ooh, you be careful what you knock over, pal. Bloody pest. This is why the dog's going berserk. Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Look at this, it is just pissing down. Too wet for you, isn't it, Fatty? That's my missus. It's autumn, summer's gone. It's completely gone. So this is what it's going to be like for months now. It's come early. Shouldn't be this bad, but it's going to be a very, very wet autumn, which means it's going to be a cold summer winter. So wet Joe won't even get out of the car. This comes. No. Who's that, Zach? Who's that? This Tyler's head he's got.
I think the angels were on the piss last night.
Do you think? That's a lovely phrase.
Yeah.
Had to make our own fun, don't we, in this weather, Jack?